Excellent. Okay. Well, this idea of praying in color comes from Sybil Macbeth, and I used one of her books for some PrayerLab resources earlier last year, and I was surprised to find out that she actually is a math teacher and not like a deacon or something, but she's just an active member of her church, and she realized that her regular prayer practice just like it wasn't doing it anymore. It wasn't working. And after sitting on her back porch and coloring and thinking about a friend, I think, who had cancer, she realized that she had just spent the whole afternoon in prayer with her, markers or whatever. And so she really dug into that and wrote this book called Praying in Color. She's since done one like for kids and has a lot of resources on her website, which I put in the chat. That's prayingincolor.com. So she suggests creating prayer drawing using shapes, working with different names of God, like starting with the name of God, like Messiah, and then just kind of seeing where it takes you, and adding names of family and friends or people who are on your heart. And for her explanation is that praying in color, excuse me, is a way to pray with your eyes and your ears and your hands. And inviting your mind, your heart, and your body into the prayer. So I think in our culture, it's very common for us to just sort of pray with our brain and not engage the other parts of our bodies. So I think it's a good practice for us to stretch and try engaging our whole selves in a different way. So she kind of recommends this sort of prayer if you want to pray, but you're having trouble with getting the words out. If you're having trouble sitting still and staying focused, this is a good way because you don't have to sit still and it's still a prayer. As a way to engage your body, if you just want to be in prayer or in time with God and you're not sure how or where to start, for when listening feels like really difficult, or when your mind is wandering, and for some of us, having that visual sort of concrete way to pray is really helpful. Or if just like what you're doing isn't working and you want to try something new. So that's kind of the background of how she explains it. But what I've found is that just sort of being given permission to pray with colored pencils and paper, I don't need to like follow anyone's recommendation. It's kind of interesting what comes up as words or images or that kind of thing that latches on to me. So that's kind of the background. So today what I'm going to do to sort of try to guide us in our coloring and praying in color time is I'm going to just read a scripture passage from Psalms. It's the assigned reading just for today. And give that to you as something to reflect on. So your time in prayer can be a direct reflection on this reading from Psalms, or it can be something else. You have permission to do anything you want. It could be something that's on your heart or somebody that you're thinking about, or if you want to take Sybil Macbeth's recommendation and start with a name for God and then just kind of see where it takes you, that's just fine. So we'll read this and then we'll have 10 minutes of silence, and then we'll come back together and discuss. So here's the reading from Psalm 107. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, those he redeemed from trouble and gathered in from the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. Some were sick through their sinful ways, and because of their iniquities endured affliction. They loathed any kind of food, and they drew near to the gates of death. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them from their distress. He sent out his word and healed them, and delivered them from destruction. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wonderful works to humankind. And let them offer thanksgiving sacrifices and tell of his deeds with songs of joy.